Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Soul on Fire show. I am so excited to be here today. Take two, we just tried to do it and it didn't work out. So I'm so grateful to actually be live on today. Today we have a really special treat for you guys. So sit tight because we have a mind, body, soul connection expert here that is a physical therapist. She's a world-renowned international speaker. She just truly is mind-blowing, incredible soul. And you're going to want to wait till the end because she has a special treat for you. And on this show, we go into the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, and the energetic body to tap you into your zone of genius and break you through all of your upper limits. Guys, my name is Noelle Agape. Thank you for being here. I am a quantum energy trainer, an NLP trainer, a licensed therapist, a shaman, and now today I'm a TV host teaching you guys about the mind, body, soul connection. So I'm going to bring Jennifer in right away because she's got so much information. She's a wealth of knowledge in the field of health and wellness. She's an expert, guys. You want to just sit down and gather all this information because you're going to be mind blown by the time that the hour is up. Thanks for being here, guys, and we're going to bring Jennifer right in. Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
It's so nice to see you, Noelle. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's a true honor, and take two is always more epic anyway.
I had no idea what happened, but the universe just wanted us to do it again. So, Jennifer, you have such a wealth of knowledge, of background in the body connection and the mind connection. And that's really what my audience is focused on. And I love that because for me, it's a holistic approach of wellness, right? We focus on the show of the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, and the energetic body. And I know that those are all four of your pockets. And I know you had a background in physical therapy and you're an athlete in college all the way through. And I know now that you're actually teaching people how to be into leadership and how to use the mind-body connection in leadership. That's such an important topic because I feel like the entrepreneur journey was really probably the hardest journey of my entire life, right? So let's talk about overall wellness first and what the mind-body connection is in your opinion, and then how do you bring it in to leadership, whether it's leadership in life, leadership in love, or leadership in business, every area of your life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, it's just really interesting. I've had such an amazing journey on really fully what I call expressing vitality wellness. And to me, vitality wellness, people are going to feel that from you. They're not going to just see it like if you look physically well, because they can tell you're taking care of yourself physically. I always say you can take a lot of age off you when you heal emotional and mental traumas and things that have kept you blocked. I've literally seen myself look differently, my energy show up differently, navigating what spirituality, your soul purpose means to you, why you're here on this earth, what's your relationship to the creator. All these pieces are truly areas, you guys, I've journeyed through. I've made templates as a physical therapist, templates as a coach, templates in my keynote presentations on my own journey of going, this area doesn't feel quite right. How can I access that more profoundly? And you guys, we can go through so many different tools, templates, breath work, somatic work, energy work, so many different things to help pull that out. But I will say my journey did begin as an athlete. And that's where I tapped into the physical part because I was having injuries as an athlete, right? And then also the mental game with being an athlete. I started tapping into that. And then I started looking at things that I was emotionally not regulating well. I had a huge issues with depression. Even, you guys, the stereotype of you have it all, or it looks like I do. And behind closed doors, I was really struggling with emotional regulation, stress management, and not doing and aligning behavior with where I really wanted to go, even though I was, quote, really, successful on the outside to a lot of people. And that's when I started tapping into more the emotional and the spiritual journey. So with all that said, as I continued my journey in mind, body, soul, mind, body, spirit, wellness, really creating vitality from the inside out, I became a better practitioner as a physical therapist. I could treat people from the high level athlete, the client with cancer, to the military with PTSD, to everything in between. And what I found is when they showed up in all areas of their wellness more profoundly, they not only felt better, go figure, walking away from my business, my practice, but they started seeing things that they could access more powerfully in money, in relationships, in their business. And thus began my journey as an entrepreneur, not only in, as a practitioner and physical therapist to 2 brick and mortars that were highly successful, but into actually supporting people now in the coaching realm, in the speaking realm, going across the country, helping people lead more powerfully. And one way that I teach leadership so differently, Noelle, is not negating this piece. This is the area that many leaders are now appreciating. They need not only just for overall vitality in their personal life, but how they show up as leaders. And one of the major steps I take among many in helping them lead themselves more powerfully in their business, in their personal life, and beyond. So vitality is really needed. And this is where it begins, when we start tapping into your mind, body, soul at a deeper level than you ever anticipated. And I love to work with people on that.
I love that so much. I think that's so important. And I love the word vitality because it encompasses everything that we do, right?
Yeah.
It really does. And so looking at vitality, let's talk about raw and real, about the journey of leadership and how I think you made such an incredible point of how on the outside, in the Instagram world, everything looks so beautiful and perfect. But, I would say that the leadership journey is, especially spiritual leaders, right? I believe that spiritual leaders are here and we are here to change the world. But there is an immense amount of forces that are trying to keep us unhealthy, right? And so let's talk about the fact that, like, knowing and understanding that going from one level of your life to the next, in whether it's in vitality or in business, it takes conscious effort, and what that takes and what it looks like to do that.
Yeah. I believe, you guys, if you're leaders, an entrepreneur, at the end of the day, a lot of us are leading things. We're leading our purpose. We're leading our family. We're leading our business. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you are an entrepreneur, you're climbing up the corporate chain, you're kind of taking your leadership to the next level where you're really impacting more people. I'm going to tell you, it's going to tap into and make you engage with that spiritual journey. Because I literally just did a post on this about how I have a lot of leaders and entrepreneurs coming to me that I have this physical part good, I feel like my mindset's good, but I'm finding, Jennifer, in this new era, post 2020, that I'm really having to come to Jesus moment of why am I here? What is my purpose? Like there, and that is it, you guys activating your spiritual journey. And you know what? Entrepreneurship is going to activate your spiritual journey in every way, shape, or form. Not just the logistics and the systems that we have to do as entrepreneurs, but really tapping, like, why am I really doing this? Because there's going to be hard stuff ahead. And it pulls into you. What are your traumas? What are your weaknesses? What are you hiding from? You guys, entrepreneurship pulls that out and throws it in your face in a beautiful way. And if you're willing to tap into this spiritual journey alongside your entrepreneur journey, I guarantee you're going to catapult your deeper purpose of impact, which a lot of entrepreneurs, that's what you're wanting at this stage. There's definitely entrepreneurs that are like, I want to make the money so I can do, other things and nonprofits. And that's a beautiful thing too. But I see a lot of entrepreneurs now wanting to take their deeper purpose and pull it into the world. Then you guys, you have to engage and be willing to tap into this spiritual acuity of wellness. Many of you have mental, wellness tools and templates. Maybe you don't. We can talk about some of those now. We have some physical stuff that you probably know at this point, but I'm telling you, if you're on Noelle's podcast, you're probably looking at tapping into more emotional and spiritual agility. And I'm telling you, the number one thing, I'm going to give this all to you. The number one thing, if you want to be a soul purpose leader, a person of deep impact, you have to learn what your spiritual purpose is on this earth. And you have to learn how to emotionally regulate your mind, body, and soul through everything that comes at you during the day. If you have those two things, I kid you not, you have the armor and shield to be unstoppable in business. Emotional regulation when crap hits the fan, and it always does, internally or externally. That's just part of life and entrepreneurship. And two, tapping into what spirituality, what your spiritual journey, what your spiritual purpose means to you. When you have those two dialed in, everyone, like I said, you become unstoppable. Nothing will hit you, even hard stuff. I'm telling you, those are the things that we can even navigate today, but that's where it starts and where it ends with a lot of our leaders that I see coming to me every day with struggles. Let's deal with that. And you're on your way, my friend.
I love that so much. And I say all the time that your body is a machine and your mind is a computer, and both can be programmed, right? And so, the electromagnetic fields is how we manifest, and we speak about manifestation all the time in the quantum fields out on this show. But it's, that your mind is your thought, connection and communication of your mind is to your thoughts, and your communication to your body is your emotions, right? So let's talk about the thoughts, and the heightened sense of thought and the heightened sense of emotion is what you manifest out into the world, right? Whether that's stress, whether that's disease, whether that's worry, whether that's lack, or the frequency of love, whether that's the frequency of vitality. We speak frequency all the time. And so going even further into the energetic and the soul's purpose, when you're at that frequency, it is a completely different, and I know this for a fact, because one, not like only I teach it, but the more that I stepped into my purpose, the more my business exploded, right? Why? Because I was at a higher frequency coming, I say it's God in me through me. And I love that you bring spirituality into business, because nowadays that's the missing component. Everybody talks about mindset. Everybody talks about, understanding their emotions, but let's talk about regulating your emotions and regulating your thoughts, because I believe that when you really regulate your thoughts and your mind and your body, and you consciously go from ego to consciousness, I believe that you are unstoppable. And with a soul-centered intention behind that, there's nothing that can stop you.
Yes, 100%. And that's interesting, because one of the things I talk about across the country is being this high frequency leader. And I talk about not only tools, but the things that derail us to get out of our high frequency. And it can happen very quickly. But the good news is you can get it back on track really quickly too. And one of those is emotional regulations. And by the way, everyone, I want to be very clear. It doesn't have to be a huge disaster that's happened to your world. And you guys, that does happen. Yes, unfortunately, whether it be death in a family or someone loses a job or something more extreme. We've seen that over the last 2 or 3 years. What I'm talking about is the creepy crawlers in the background of an email that you didn't like, that did not go well, or maybe a conversation with a team member that didn't go as you had planned, or maybe something going on with a conversation with your significant other, or the money that you were hoping to get from a sales call didn't go down. Because it's all these little, I call it pebbles in the shoe, that add up, that keep dysregulating us, keep pulling us out, because we start feeding in to old beliefs and stories that were similar to that little pebble in the shoe, right? And before you know it, those little small things, several throughout the day, all of a sudden we're now in that lower frequency. So people are like, why do I feel so crummy? Nothing bad happened to it. Well, yeah, because we want to acknowledge all the emotions. I'm not saying make a mountain out of a molehill. What I'm saying is what you just said. Get super aware of, I'm in high frequency. Something just happened that gave me an emotion that now I don't feel quite in that jam. Deal with it right there. And you guys, we can go through tools right now. It doesn't take 3 hours of meditation to get you back on track and regulating. Yes, this is why we need coaches when we have other trauma, other things that are keeping us in the cycle. There is a need for that. But what I'm saying is there's things during our day that we can use tools to pull us back on our game, and then continue with the deeper work with a coach and a mentor, but not lose momentum to continue in your high performance as a leader. Honor what you're feeling, seeing what you're feeling, and then regulate from there. And we can go through some of those regulation tools right now, but it can come in small forms, you guys. It doesn't have to be these extreme examples. And often it's the small forms that we're kind of delaying or pushing away. And once we don't do that, you're in high energy. People ask me how I'm in high energy all day. I'm like, well, I'm not every day. That's not realistic.
Exactly.
I am in vitality a lot. People say that to me. You're so passionate. You're so energetic. I'm like, you guys, because I have done the work to understand how to emotionally regulate, step into my spiritual truth. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Is it aligned with my truth? Is it aligned with my core values? And then game over. And you guys can learn this too. And the first step really in emotion regulation is what Noelle just said. It sounds really simple, you guys, but we don't do it. Pause for 30 seconds. What are you feeling? Describe it, write it down, say it out loud. What we have a tendency to do, everyone, no, you can't say, get on our phone, go to our to-do list because we don't want to deal with the emotion, go talk to a friend about it. No, just actually sit in it right there. You're saying to your brain, oh, it's safe to have an emotion that feels lower frequency. You're not running from it. So the brain starts calming down, everyone. Guess what it starts doing then? Give you creative opportunities, creative options to think differently, because you're not running right now. Just pausing in the moment and being willing to feel the yuck. You guys, it's no different than working out. How many high-level athletes do we have on this call? You feel the burn, you know what you're going to get afterwards, but you're willing to feel the burn. This is no different when you have an unexpected or an expected, doesn't matter, emotion that doesn't feel good. Sit with it. Sit with it. And just no other tool, everyone. We have a lot of tools. Noelle and I have a lot of cool tools, but just sitting with it, you will notice even a little, if not a lot, you start calming down like, okay, I'm safe. What else is going on here? What else could I ask? What other opportunity or option might be there? Pause. There's power in the pause. And that for me, for you and your guests, is the first step in emotional regulation, letting the body know it's okay to feel that. Then it has an opportunity to create space because you're not doing this on the phone, right? And you're just sitting with it. And then we can go on to the next step. But that's a huge thing, is just being honoring what you're feeling instead of pushing it away.
I love that so much. And I use the 3 A's along with that, where I acknowledge what's going on in my mind and my body and my environment around me. And then I accept what's going on in my mind, body, and environment. And then I bring awareness to it and say, okay, what is this showing me? Right. Yeah. And so understanding that it is just a frequency and energy has to move through you. And that's how we get repressed emotions and contracted energy. When we don't sit in the emotion, it just stores in our body. Right. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the mental loops and emotions storing in your body biochemically and in your neural net pathways. What actually transpires? I mean, you and I can have a high level conversation on this, but for our viewers, like, what transpires in your mind and your body when you have locked emotions and repressed emotions?
No, I love that, you guys. There's a lot in research, and this is something they don't talk about because it doesn't make a lot of money. Meds make a lot of money. I'm just going to put that out there. But this is very important to understand, that when we suppress emotions, big or small traumas, little traumas, big emotions, small emotions, it does not matter. When we don't process it and we store it in different areas of our body, and by the way, all of us store it differently in different systems, in our gut, in our heart, in our brain, depending on the person. Okay. But when we do that, everyone, it actually long-term starts causing irregular replication of DNA. Did you know that? It is correlated, you guys get this, correlated to higher risk of cancers, chronic diseases, depression, mental health, suicide, because this is all research based. Okay. It's changing the replication of your DNA of that system. Okay. They have found, those correlation study have found, those that learn to manage stress better, emotionally regulate better. Okay. Have a lower correlation to all this stuff that we're talking about. Okay. Our physical health. This is why I got into the emotional, mental, spiritual work, because we found when we regulated that, it was the bigger domino than even eating the apple to help you not get cancer. You guys, this is real stuff. This research has been around for 20, 30 years, and they've been doing more of it, go figure, since 2020. So when you store this stuff, it not only locks down that system. Okay. When you repress the emotions, you start creating what we call deregulation of that system. If it's in the gut, you start getting a sluggish gut. If it's in your muscle, you start getting muscle contraction because it's not moving well, because that emotion is locking that muscle down. So depending on where it's being stored, it's going to cause symptoms in that system, and chronically will start causing dysregulation of the DNA being replicated appropriately, thus correlated to cancers and diseases and all the stuff that I just talked about. So from a physical health sense, it's going to cause that. From a mental health sense, it's going to start deregulating DNA in the brain. All these systems start falling apart. Do you think you're going to show up in a marriage well when all this is happening and you're not showing up in your full vitality? No. Do you think you're going to show up leading your team well when your mind is now starting to deregulate to a lower frequency, a lower DNA replication pattern, you guys, this is magic what we're talking about. When you can regulate emotion and release it, your higher vitality, you show up in your business, you show up in communication, you show up in your health more powerfully. People have asked me, Noelle, this is not like, oh, a pat on my back. They're like, how old are you? And I laugh and I'm like, I literally have de-aged myself in the last 10 years because of the emotional releases that I have done. I'm aging well, not just because of genetics. I'm aging well because I've released this stuff. It has helped. I'm healthier now, everyone, than when I was a high level athlete. Was I fitter? Could I run faster? Probably. but my mind, my body, my soul, I'm literally reversing aging, you guys. I literally can run faster than half the 30-some-year-olds, and I'm in my 40s. Okay.
I'm 52.
You guys, right? I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I've seen women that I work with that get pregnant in their 40s, that get 7 figures in their salary in the first time in their life, in their business, in their 40s and 50s. Why? Because the stuff we're talking about is not only going to help you run faster, give you higher energy, be mentally there with your team and your family. You now get to have all these opportunities in money, in creating bigger impact. Your life can begin in your 40s and 50s. You guys, I see this all the time. I literally have seen 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds that are literally act older than me. And you know what? That to me is concerning. I am there to serve you guys, get out of your funk. And this is where it starts. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited, but this is where it starts, everyone. Emotional regulation, emotional release takes care of your vitality, mind, body, soul, so you can show up, not have some DNA replicating in a crappy way, actually in a more profound, accelerated way that's aligned with your purpose. And you're going to show up. Because not just in your vitality, how you connect with your family, how you connect with your team. When I've been more vital in my health, I've shown up so much more powerfully as a leader in my new businesses, as a speaker, as a coach, than I did with my first practice when I was learning this stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much this is powerfully moving me and moving my team when I show up this way. So you guys, it's a huge opportunity for you not only to understand the science behind it, like, wow, this is a big domino. Yes, it is, Jennifer. Now learn how to process it. And that's what we're doing today. And to me, Noelle, the second step besides just acknowledging it, this is like, okay, Noelle and I have deeper tools for those of you that have some deeper traumas, because that is necessary. I needed that. Okay. But a second tool I would do on top of acknowledging.
We're gonna go into a couple more tools in the second, because I want to give tools.
Yeah.
Like, you have so much information to give. I love that. And but I want to talk about when we go into our we have to take a quick commercial break. But the second segment, I want to talk about meditation and the science of the brain, and also what you put in your body, and how your body is a vessel, and how it regulates your emotional system. We will be right back, guys. Stay tuned. We have so much more of Jennifer. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
Sorry, I get so excited.
Guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show. Today we are here with Jennifer Watson, and we are exploding the mind-body connection, and we're both getting so excited because we understand that this work changes lives. And I will tell you honestly, I am a living proof that this work changes lives. I had anxiety my entire life. I had massive childhood trauma. That's those that don't know, tremendous amount. And I had a failed relationship. I am thriving. I haven't been on medication in 20 years. I am in the best place of my life. My business has exploded. And it's not just because it's health and wellness. It's because it's literally every component of my life. It's the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, and the energetic body. Understanding how to be a leader, understanding how to be a mom, understanding how to be a partner. It allows you a space, vitality in every area of your life. It allows you a space for greatness, right? And it truly opens up a better version of you. It is my belief that there is an infinite amount of versions of us. And Jennifer, I know you believe this as well, is that we can tap into those versions at any time. Let's talk about that and some tools that we can actually do, because you and I, we do this work, right? We practice it in the morning. We practice it all day. We practice it before we go to sleep, right? And my meditation practice and my eating habits and my exercise and my inner work and the energetic work is changed my life. So talk about tools and takeaways of a morning routine, or even a whole day routine, just things that you do to have vitality, because you have so much. I mean, your energy is so pure and beautiful, and it completely, it's such a high frequency, and you emanate that out because everything that's internally is externally, right? And so what are some things that you do to bring vitality into the mind-body connection for yourself?
That is such a great question. And I want all of you to know, all of us have tools that are more effective
Mm.
for us than what would be for Noelle. Or these are tools, you guys, I want you to know, don't be overwhelmed by them. Play with them. It's a journey. I'm going to tell you the tools I use now compared to even 10 years ago. It's just like food choices. Like my journey's changed, my physiology. So take what we're giving to you, play with it, put the dress on, the hat on, see how it feels, then move. Okay. Because your body will tell you. Okay. A lot of people are like, is this right for me? You guys, I'm big into intuition, into intuitive decision-making, intuitive eating, intuitive action, something I talk about with a lot of my coaching clients. But all I will say is this, just listen, like put the hat on of some of these tools. And if it feels good, go with that, fan that, and then reach out to us for questions. Before I go into a morning and evening ritual, which you guys, I think is really, really important for any of you that are really desiring something in your life that you feel like you're not getting, like you really want it. I don't care if it's, you want to meet the one, you want to make more money, you want a better business, whatever it is. I'm going to encourage all of you to do this one tool because this kind of helps pull you into space and you want to do it throughout your day. If you get a fearful emotion about that thing during your day, which a lot of us, whatever it is that we want, that we feel like there's a block, we're going to be getting that throughout our day. Something's going to trigger us to put us back in fear. I want you to do one small thing, thing that's opposite of what you usually do. Opposite of what you usually do. And I'll use me as an example. In the dating world, in my dating world, I didn't have very functional relationships early in my dating life. I also had, sexual assault when I was younger. A lot of behaviors I just incorporated in my dating life. And I wasn't getting it, even though I was saying, I want the one, I want the one. I wasn't getting it. And I'm always a big believer, you guys, it's gonna be hard to hear, but you're about being soul on fire. If you don't have something that you desire, it is on you. Okay. It's on you, and that's okay. It's very empowering. We're gonna give you some tools, morning and evening ritual, to kind of help pull you in so you can align things so you can get what you want. But one of the biggest things I'm gonna give myself an example. I don't have a guy. Why am I not getting that? I was finding that when I was having fear during my day around different components of men, I was constantly pulling back. I was trying to take care of myself. I was being independent. I don't need anybody's help. I'll figure this out. And I realized that that was something that was holding me back. I needed to reach out, own it with a friend. Like, I need support in this. I need help. Instead of withdrawing back. That was, by the way, a safety pattern for me, everyone, because I felt unsafe as a kid. Trusting men. So my way of dealing with that was pulling in and being independent and taking care of it on my own. So you guys, through my own realization, I knew, okay, I need to do something different when I'm feeling that I want to do this instead, when I know it's not a good pattern that's aligned with what I want. So I started when I didn't feel like it, you guys, call a friend, like, hey, I'm struggling because I have this guy and I'm kind of interested, but I want to pull back. And I started moving my brain to do something different than what it's done in the past, you guys. It started momentum of better men coming into my life. You guys, it's little stuff like that. So I want you to take something that you desire, that you feel like, I don't have it yet, Jennifer, stomp. That's okay. Take a deep breath. It is on you. It's on you. And that's okay, you guys.
Accountability. We say radical accountability on this show, so I love it. You're just reinforcing everything that I teach. So
yes, perfect. You guys, because you don't want to lose that during your day. Okay. And all of you, whatever you desire most, and you're not getting it, we all know it's on your mind quite a bit during the day. And something's going to hit you during your day that you have a choice to make the same decision that has not worked in the past. And you guys, I'm not talking big. A small decision to go in a different direction. I'm telling you, micro steps like that, making your brain see something different than the alternative in your past, you'll start getting open doors. In this case, amazing, epic men in my life. Okay. That's an example I want you to use during your day, because morning and evening rituals are really necessary, but we get pulled out of our frequency into a bad emotion, often because of something that triggers something that we really want that we're not getting. And it may not even have to do with what's going on that day. Okay. But it's still going to pull you out of your game for the rest of your day in other areas, let alone the things you want. So that's one tool, massive, everyone. Choose something different. And guess what? Do it immediately. Do it. Don't wait 2 days from now. I'm not saying if you have a business meeting, do it right then, but definitely that day. I'm going to tell you guys, your brain, it's like catching a dog that's peeing on the floor. Okay. Your brain needs to know right away what you want it to do differently if you can. So that's something that's really, really important. First and foremost, my number one tool I will give to all of you that are struggling with something you really desire and are not getting it. As far as morning and evening rituals, you guys, I've interviewed a lot of high-level leaders, entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of high-level leaders and entrepreneurs. And you guys, everyone has a morning and evening ritual. Everyone. By the way, you guys, if you miss one, it's not about shaming yourself. You guys, my morning rituals have changed year to year. My morning rituals, depending on my day, might be 15 minutes or an hour. Okay. It literally depends on my day and where I'm at in my cycle, what I want and desire for that day. But I'll say this, all of you need morning and evening rituals, even if they're just 15 minutes, because some of you are going to come at me and say, I don't have time to do this because I have kids or I have this. And I'm like, I get it. You can still do a morning and evening ritual, 10 to 15 minutes. What would I say is key, honestly, Noelle, for morning rituals? What I believe we all need to do is definitely meditate of some sort or do some type of breath work. Okay. How long that lasts, what kind of breath work and meditation you need, you guys, is a little bit more specific on what you struggle with or how you wake up in the morning. A lot of us wake up with a little anxiety, in the morning. So there's breath work and meditation that helps pull you down and in really beautifully, which we can talk about. But I will say this, reaching out to Noelle or I, downloading some meditations from, I think it's Headspace. Those are different options. I would encourage you to connect with someone like us to get specifics for you as far as breath work or meditation. I believe that is absolutely key for any of us, man, woman, no matter how long or how short you have. Meditation and breath work, you can go through the physiology of that in just a second. The second thing I really would encourage all of you to do is some type of movement. I'm not even saying exercise. Some of you aren't morning exercises. I'm talking where you're doing 10 windmills, like yoga moves, and you're saying a powerful incantation of something you want that day. It helps move, if you have some kind of low frequency emotion, through your body. It could be 10 minutes of stretching. I've done that, you guys. I don't work out in the morning. I work out in the middle of the day, but I still do some type of movement during the morning to move emotions through, whether they be yucky or I'm feeling pretty excited about something, and help amp me up. Okay. We can go through that and the physiology of that. And third, I'm a big believer in journaling, even if it's 5 minutes. I used to hate journaling. You guys, I'm going to be honest, I don't want to freaking journal.
And then now every morning, it's like,
yes. The reason why Noelle and I like it now, you guys, even if I only have 5 minutes, sometimes I only have 5 minutes, just like meditation. You guys, I want to be and that's where you start. Maybe you're like, Jennifer, I hate journaling and I hate meditation. And that's where you're at. Well, we want to change your mindset around that. But even if you're like, I can't stay still that long, that's okay. Start with 3 minutes meditation. I'm not kidding you. Start with 3 minutes of journaling. What you're going to see, everyone, production of abundance, resilience during your day, better creativity when junk hits the fan. You're going to start seeing a correlation there, and then you're going to want to do it more and more, just like anything, right? So you need to start with 3 minutes of journaling, and journaling can be anything about dumping. Like if you wake up that morning, you're like, I'm feeling this, this, and this, and I need to purge that out. If you have that, kind of ending with something that you really desire for the day. So it ends on a really positive, energetic note. It's not about denying that you're having emotions. It's about then now sealing the deal with something that you really desire for that day. I often, after I get done journaling, I put my hand on my heart, Noelle, and on my pelvis, 2 powerful chakras, which we can go through too in just a second. It allows me to project what I plan to have happen that day. I am doing this. I will be this. Even if it's 3 things, you guys, but I would say that's the big kind of cores that I think, and then the nuances happen from there, whether you add different modalities or go longer in some of the stuff, but breath work or meditation, doing some of a light movement, you guys. If it's exercising, like the exercise in the morning, great. Light movement to kind of boost things and move good and positive energy through, as well as the yucky ones. And then journaling, and then powerfully incanting it out loud. You guys, I've literally done all that I just said in 15 minutes. Okay. And I think those things, and again, we can go through that, Noelle, they create a huge neurophysiological shift in the mind-body connection. Okay, get you on the page, help you with resilience during the day when junk comes at you, and help you optimize the creative zone during the day when you start like this. So when things do come at you, you have the ability to turn over rapidly into a problem-solving solution versus the problem itself, and keeping this vitality, high vibe that we talk about, that we've been talking about this whole episode. So those are probably the things that I do in the morning ritual that neurophysiologically change your brain, change your body to step in to a day more powerfully, no matter what it brings to you.
I love that. And I love that. And I do all of that as well. And then I do a gratitude walk in my house
Yes.
before I even have coffee. And then in the evening, when sometimes I go through my intention throughout the day. And sometimes when I fall from grace, I pause and I do like a square breath or breath work whenever. But the silence is so important to just right.
Yeah.
And understanding that it's sometimes you just have to be, and a lot of people can't be silent because the monkey brain, you know, I can meditate up to an hour. I go into the fucking fields. Right. And so for me, but then at the end of the day, what I do also is I reflect on my day and I say, okay, how is my intention? How is I close as my intention as I possibly could all day to be conscious. Right. And so let's talk about that, because it's really one of the biggest things that I teach. And I know that you do as well, is being a conscious creator versus a manipulation, manifestation constantly, consciously, as opposed to egoically manipulating and trying to manipulate. And like, I know that there's a big, huge community that really loves, like, I'm an intention person, right? I think that goals are wonderful, but I think intentions are, you know, with the energy behind intention, it is incredible, powerful. But even if it's a goal, it's at least you're focusing your mind in a certain way. So let's talk about manifesting consciously, because it's incredibly important to understand that whatever is going on in your external world is 100% of what you're emanating out from your internal world, right? And so, as you said before, you know, it's all you. Everything is you outpushed. Everything, your entire world is you outpushed. It's your trauma, it's your past, it's your belief systems, it's everything. So if we can micro manage that in consciousness, not ego, that's when we're living in that space. So how do you do some of those things? Like I literally course correct every day, and then I die to the old version of myself every single day. And to become a new identity, especially as a leader, this is a big question. In the entrepreneur space, you really do have to let go of every identity you've ever had to create a new identity to become successful in that, because it's 100% reliant upon what's going on inside of you, right?
100%.
So let's talk about leadership from that space, because that's a big thing.
No, I love this question. You know, I've worked with a lot of leaders in the last 2 or 3 years that have gone through identity crisis. Well, and not only because they've dealt with a lot, whether it be from the external or internal, it's brought up some things. That's soul peace, that's spiritual peace, why I'm here. But also too, in this, I keep bringing up my phone, but I'm going to just say it again. In the social media world, we're taking on so much information, and what we as leaders have done, because we've been scrambling in the last few years, is we end up taking someone else's identity, you know, what we think that we're supposed to be doing because everybody else is doing it now because we're in crisis and panic. And what happens is we're not staying aligned with our soul purpose, with how we lead uniquely and what our gifts are, staying in our lane. It's causing an identity crisis, which, you guys, it manifests physically, emotionally, spiritually, and of course it ends up self-imploding on your team and sometimes your business, right? So what I've really encouraged a lot of my leaders to do to get more into this higher level of consciousness, really sit, is what you said, get really quiet. And it's a great time to do it at the end of the night, you guys, because you have more time, you're not thinking about your day. In sitting and asking these questions, I will say this: whatever you believe, I'm a believer in Christ, and so I talk about talking to my Creator, you know, talking to Jesus, talking to God, and saying, okay, I'm feeling a lot of chaos in my head right now. I'm feeling a lot of chaos in my body. I'm going to sit. I'm going to just sit with this. God, what is my purpose for tomorrow? What do you want me to work on, you guys? And then pause. Wait. You guys, I'm telling you, when you ask a powerful question, your brain starts searching for an answer, and it'll be brought to you. Okay, you want me to work with leaders? Okay, young leaders, student leaders. Okay, that feels good. That feels aligned with me. I'm using myself as an example because I love like young student leaders. Okay, how do you want me to connect with them, God? Like, I want to serve with powerful vitality, show them wellness. So show them leadership. Who do I serve? Okay, athletes in action. I used to work with athletes in action. I used to be in athletes in action, you know, when I was in college. Okay, Like who do I reach out to authentically, organically to make that happen? Oh, my person that's in Athletes in Action. I met them at church on Sunday. Yeah. Yes. You guys see how I'm just kind of calming down? It's the answers are coming to me, right? And that's just one example where we get out of our head. Like I have to take care of the laundry tomorrow. I have to go meet my friend for lunch. I have to do her, I have to do this for my business. Wait a minute. What do you want me to do tomorrow in my purpose?
I love that.
You guys just sitting with that, the primary answer will come.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you do with that primary answer, then what happens is you start creating what your top 3 to-dos are, because it's around now your purpose versus I have to do 20 things that social media or Jane Doe or my husband tell me to do.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I literally tell all my leaders that work with me, I'm like, you guys, I will help you make a lot more money and do it half the amount of time and not work that much and play with your kids and everything else you want to do. And it's part of this.
Mm-hmm.
We do so much on our plate every day. When you actually truly go through it, if you are 100% honest with yourself and you go through like, I don't need to do that. That doesn't need to be done this week. I don't really want to do that. That's not really aligned with my purpose. I'm just doing it to be nice and kind of people pleaser. Like you guys, you start axing things out and you start protecting your time. God wants you to use all your gifts, but not to be nuts and crazy and low energy and exhausted and miserable and moody and not even enjoying what you do anymore. Isn't the whole point of being a leader in your deeper purpose to bring vitality and joy and show people how to do it, whatever it's in? You guys sit at night. You guys download, start becoming spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual leaders. Like, listen, what do you want me to do? Okay, it will, you guys, I guarantee you, without even any coaching, because I'm a coach. Okay, without any coaching, just sit with it and an answer will come. Like, why am I thinking about that friend? Oh my gosh, that's right. She actually does work in that area and that's an area I'm interested in. The connections start coming. Your brain, you have 100,000 miles of blood vessels in your brain. You have 100 billion plus neuronal connections in your brain. We believe every day when we do bicep curls, this is going to get stronger, right? What if we give our brain different questions? What if we give them different questions? What just might it show up? What just might show up that's aligned with your purpose? What just might it clear out and you say, I don't need to do all that. You guys, I'm telling you, the more I do leadership training, the more I find it's not about systems. It's not about you're doing that wrong. Trust me, you do need systems in your business. What I'm saying is it often comes down to this piece. You're doing everything for everyone that doesn't matter. Sit down at night as part of your evening ritual and just like, God, I'm tired. It's chaotic. I'm in my head right now. I'm feeling the emotions. Or maybe you are, everyone. What do I really want to do, God? I want to speak. I'm using myself as I want to speak. I love to speak to leaders, be vital leaders. Yes, Jennifer, do it here. Oh, yes, that feels good. Oh, you guys, you just start communing with higher intelligence and it feels so good. Stay in your freaking lane. Put blinders on, which by the way, you guys, I love social media, but I have an 80-20 rule that side tangent I tell all my leaders to do. Put 80% content on and 20% support of other people. When you spend too much time going through, you guys, you start second guessing, you start questioning, you start going, well, should I be doing that? Then you're in the weeds. You guys get back in your freaking lane and listen. Listen, you cannot listen if you're speaking all the time, and I'm a speaker. You guys, you have to be willing to ask the question and then pause. Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting here. You guys, I literally did this yesterday on creating money abundance. You guys, this is a true story. I'm like, I want to create passive income, God. I want to be even more epic in my money. And I sat there and listened, you guys. I opened my eyes. I kid not. I looked at my bush. I'm like, what is that? I hate debris in my bushes. There was a $50 bill. There's a $50.
Literally, that's the universe. It's like, I love God so much. It's so amazing.
Yes, it doesn't just happen to me. It happens to you too. It's not $1, not $5, $50. It was sitting in my bush, you guys, as I was just waiting.
Receiving, right? But
Yes.
we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to talk about receiving, and then we're going to talk about, you have a lot of things going on right now, and I want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to be able to work with you, because I know you have so much things that you're doing and to change lives. But we will be right back, guys. Stay tuned. We've had so many gold nuggets in this show. It's been amazing. Stay tuned, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show. My heart is exploding today because Jennifer Watson is here, and we are blowing up the vitality space and the health and wellness space today. Mind blown. If you have not seen all of the past shows and the 2 segments, go back and watch it again, because there is like 1,000 nuggets in there to change your life. So, Jennifer, let's talk about internal space and intuition, and what it takes to move from an internal space, being an internal leader, then moving that out to being an external leader.
I talk about intuition all the time, you guys, and I have a whole 7 levels intuition mastery in my programs. And the reason why, because intuition is your antennas from the outside world, bringing it to the inside world. And your intuition is drawing people, places, things, and opportunities out here to bring in fullness internally here. You guys are really wanting to get that. Think of a radio station. Antennas are the intuition. Your radio station is your sole purpose, your internal space that you want to express to the external world, right? And it starts with intuition. And I believe that, Noelle, I believe that intuition is the new leadership, not only for self, not only for vitality, in choosing things that you bring in your world, mind, body, soul, but also for leading powerfully. Because when you really want to heal that internal space, when you want to create vitality and not just heal, but rise the internal space, because when you rise here, you reflect out accordingly into the external world, right? We do need the external world to be able to use our gifts. If we're always healing ourselves, you guys, we're not doing a lot of work to help the outside world, right? We need to use it then to express outwardly. So what intuition does, it brings things into you to help expand and heal and rise our internal mind, body, soul vitality. And it allows you then to externally go, now that we're internally good, we're internally regulated, now we're going to bring things into you that you could affect people in the external world, right? People, places, things, and opportunities. So how do you internally really create this space you're talking about? I am a huge believer in intuition, lives in all your different chakras, you guys. And I don't know how much you guys have had chakra or people talking about chakras.
Always. Yeah. I work in the energetic fields mostly.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, perfect. You guys. So the way that you heal and thrive, this internal space we're talking about, is tapping into these energy fields, you guys. It's not woo-woo. We are energy. Energy is neither created or destroyed. There's constantly interactions happening in our body all day, every day without us knowing it. What I talk about when I look at chakras, you guys, they're big areas where energy fields, are their home base, where you can access many areas of energy channels in your body. There's many other areas, EFT, if any of you have heard of tapping, there's other areas too, you can access those same energy channels. But I love chakras because I'm all about the big domino. Okay. I'm all about tapping into those areas and helping them move more quickly. So for me, for you guys, quick Band-Aid to kind of start regulating and creating this internal space of not only safety and healing, but profoundness, is start accessing your different chakras. Okay. And you can access those different chakras, you guys, by meditation, by tapping those different chakras, by asking questions that are associated with those different chakras. So for instance, all of you might know the heart chakra, right? The heart chakra is all about love, not just external love, but self-love. Okay, there's other nuances to this heart chakra, but asking questions like, how do I want to be loved? What is my idea of self-expression of love? Like those kind of things that'll help you start feeling this expansion of the chakra, right? And also to help you start getting intuitive with that, because once you know, right? Once you know what that feels like, you're going to start bringing in intuitively things that feel good in that chakra. You guys, we can go through the different chakras today and different questions you can ask, but what I'm going to say is it's going to help you understand what makes you tick internally, right? And then it's going to help you then fan your intuition, because now that you know what you want, the intuition is going, okay, now I know what to bring into her to help him or her heal, if that makes sense. So the chakras have different energy channels, different symbolism to them, and you can ask appropriate questions. I often ask questions there if I'm really wanting to focus on love that day. I'm tapping that area. I'm putting my hand here. I'm asking about love for self and for others. How can I serve in love? And that's going to open up my heart expansion. That's going to get me intuitive who I need to bring in into my internal world, people, places, things, to expand that love chakra. You guys, you can do this with all of your chakras. When you tap into all these chakras throughout your body, you start tapping into your internal space, healing your internal space, getting to know your internal space. And once you get to know you, I mean, really you, where we talk about your spiritual truth, now everything intuitively starts expanding more into the outside world that you can bring in. So that's an easy space that I start with people, is tapping in physically and also asking questions and energetically moving in these different chakras. Again, I use other patterns as well that open up these energy channels. So you just start feeling yourself more, like feeling the good, you know, and that's so important, you guys. Most of us don't even get what good feels like. We're so used to kind of feeling crappy in these different areas and where we feel it, but you want to get what feels good, because then you can know when something's intuitively feeling good for you to take a decisive action toward that. And again, that's going to continue to evolve your internal space that ultimately reflects out externally what you're giving to the world, your high frequency, your soul on fire in so many ways. So I'd start with tapping into these chakras, asking appropriate questions in these chakras. We can go over those. I know Noelle's done that in the past, but I would definitely do that. And that's going to help start expanding this internal space that you need to be present in, that feels safe and good. And then you can move from there.
And, you know, I'm sure you have a course as well. I have a course on my on noelleagape.com if you guys needed to know about chakras, but your energetic body is one of the most important body to understand your guidance system. So your physical body is, like we said, your physical body is your vessel, your mind is your direction, and it is how you get there. Your emotional body is your guidance system, and your energetic body is your home. And when you understand those and you tie it all together, you have vitality. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, that was such an amazing show. So what is going on with you, and what programs are you running? Because I want to have time. We have about 6 minutes left. I want to have time to tell everyone the amazing work and the lives that you change. I mean, I know for sure, I know you personally. I know that like anybody that spends any amount of time with you, their lives are going to be transformed. Their business is going to transform, and they're going to explode, right? In whatever area that you direct their attention. So tell us, like, what you do with some of your clients and some of your programs, and take us on a journey of Jennifer.
Yeah, absolutely. So I speak across the country, which I love to do, speaking virtually, in person, masterminds, retreats, big summits. I love that. I love to see people transform on that level. But with that being said, where my coaching program goes to is I do definitely one-on-one coaching with high level, next level leaders and entrepreneurs. That's kind of my bread and butter. But I also work with a lot of young adults, students. I'm pulling that into my energetic space because they are our future. So I work with the entrepreneur to the young student that is craving this vitality and this leadership space that comes from more of an energetic space, because I believe that's the big domino. I do that one-on-one, and I do group. My next group program is going to be what I call the Next Level Leadership 2.0, tapping into the leader within. And we'll be tapping into next level leadership traits, next level mind, body, soul tools, and next level sustainable high performance, no matter the environment, actually shifting the environment to your favor. And what's going to be great about this mastermind, you guys, we're going next level on all that I just mentioned. We're starting that in the end of May, beginning of June. I also want to teach you guys how to speak more powerfully, whether it be on a sales call, in a team meeting, navigating a tough conversation with your lover. It doesn't matter. We're going to teach you how to navigate intellectual communication, intuitive communication. Whether you want to be on stage or not, learning how to powerfully communicate as a leader, as a healed, vital leader is necessary. And I believe missing in a lot of leadership programs. So that's going to be added extra to this mastermind. So we're starting that end of May, beginning of June. I speak across the country. I'd love for you guys to come in and connect with me if you're interested in that mastermind. And of course, I do have a podcast as well called Soul Purpose Leadership that I love to give value there. And of course, I have a gift for all of you if you'd like me to share that now, Noelle.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes. You guys can find me. I'm the most active on Instagram at the Jennifer Watson. If you guys DM me after this episode, DM me EPIC, because EPIC is my favorite word. I will be giving you a QR code to free 3-part video series, breathwork series, as well as a PDF on creating productivity, performance, and high mental edge, no matter the environment. They're powerful. I would love to have you guys do that. So if you want to just, again, DM me at the Jennifer Watson on Instagram, the word EPIC, I will send that bad boy to you. And of course, I'm available for any questions after this podcast. I love to support and just give value to people that really want to take their life, their health, and their leadership to the next level.
Oh my gosh. Well, you are amazing. Thank you so much for bringing so much light to this world. You are an incredible, beautiful soul. And I just honor you for all that you've done in this world. And, I'm so grateful that you're on the show and just grateful to have you as my friend as well. So last question, what sets your soul on fire?
Oh my gosh. What sets my soul on fire immediately, what I'm thinking right now? Dancing. Girlfriend, I love to dance because it brings out my best frequency and it allows me to be the best leader, the best daughter, the best sister, the best friend, the best person I can be for other people. It lights my fire, man. So I love to dance.
I love dancing too. And my kids make fun of me because I just dance around my house and I sing at the top of my lungs, but it really frees your soul. It really does. And so final takeaway, if you could say one thing to anybody and it was the one thing that you had to say, and that was it, you only could do one thing, what would be the number one thing to get you to vitality?
Radically live your life. Radically. You have one life, and man alive, just that's why I love this show, The Soul on Fire. The way that you do that, I believe for all of you, no matter what success means to you, radically live your life. Radically. And I'm telling you, when you do that, when you get extreme in something you're so giddy about, magic can happen, my friend.
That is magic right there. And that is pure authenticity. You are a divine being. Thank you for being here and on the show. I just love you and honor you. And I'd love to do a project with you. I think that we have so much in common. So you're welcome back anytime. Thanks for being on. Guys, I will link her, all of her information down below. Go see Jennifer. If you need help and you need support, she's got tons of free stuff on her website. She's giving you a free gift as well. That is incredible and amazing. And it will, it's a breathwork PDF, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so that will calm your nervous system. So make sure you go and you get her free PDF. But if you want to go further with her, she has coaching. You're taking on new clients, right?
Yep, I am.
Okay, so you could work one-on-one with her. You can work with your mental body, your physical body, your emotional body, and your energetic body, and she will change your life, guys. Again, I will link everything below. Thank you, Jennifer. I love you. Thank you for being on.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, have a great day. Oh my gosh, guys, what an amazing show. She is absolutely pure divine light. If you have any questions about your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your energetic body, and you want to go deeper with Jennifer, just please reach out to her. If nothing else, get her free breath work and learn and understand how to regulate your nervous system, because that absolutely will change your life when you understand that you can make conscious choices. And that's free will right there, guys. Free will is seeing your ego and understanding your ego and seeing your trauma and understanding your trauma and making other choices, healthy choices to be in vitality, overall wellness, tap into your zone of genius, become the greatest version of you. The world needs you more than ever, guys. You are more powerful than you will ever know. God in you, through you. I promise you, when you believe God in you, through you, you can move mountains. We are here to change humanity. Let's do it together. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.